Welcome to the era where when friends meet up, it's all about taking selfies and videos to update our social media handles. And the bad part when you're having a conversation with a friend and you're wondering, are you even listening to me? Yeah, that can be so hurtful. Today we're talking. Stay tuned.
Wake up in the morning, one of the first things I do is check my notifications, see who posted what, who is saying what, and so much more. I saw somewhere once that scrolling is the new smoking. How true? My name is Fatima Kamal Tijani and this is the Golden Bits. You're welcome to another episode of the Golden Bits. Today I have with me
Louis.
and you're welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to ask, do you think we are addicted to social media?
Yeah.
You think we are?
Yeah. Because literally myself, whenever I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I just pick up my phone, check my messages, probably try to do some snap.
So you think we're addicted?
Yeah.
Personally, I also think we are addicted because just as I was coming, a lady nearly got hit by a car because she was glued up to a phone
really?
On a food.
on the road.
Tell me about it.
So,
Tell me about
yeah,
it. We're addicted, right?
But when you're walking on the road, at least you should put your phone in your bag.
You see, sometimes you get so involved in what you are doing
Thank you
that
very much.
And depends on what
It
you are
feels-
doing.
to you,
Like
it
if
feels
someone
more
engages
important.
you in
Yes.
like
Yes.
a convo, you
Yes. And the reason why I have difficulty calling it addiction sometimes is because it's essential. Like, how do I go? I'm a student. I know they'll update my class page with something, like something is going to come up.
yeah.
And the phone is playing that important role, but also I'm attending to my personal things. You understand? So,
Yeah.
will it be addiction or it's like it's become so important?
we are not disputing the fact that it's very important. But then, looking at the number of times you pick up your phone in a day, it should give you a
And
hint
if you have to be
as
honest.
to if you are
We are
addicted or
addicted
not.
to
Yes.
it. Okay, guys, so why do you think we are addicted? What is causing us to be so involved in our phone that we can't go a day? It's like they're killing you. You can't go a day without it.
Unlike certain countries that there are restrictions on social media.
Okay, there are restrictions in some countries. right?
Yes, China.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, there
Wow.
are parts of North Korea don't even
North
have
Korea,
access
yeah,
to
I
internet.
heard something
So
about
they are
it.
restricted on how they use the social media. We those here, there's no restriction on social media. When you get up every day, it's easily
Anytime.
available anytime.
And the only time I think you are restricted is when you don't have bundle or you don't have any Wi-Fi
That one is
connection.
personal restriction. And you do anything you can to get the data.
Yes.
Like the rate at which we can go to any extent to like be online is
Yes.
serious.
It's bad.
Yes, that goes to
I
tell you
remember
that we are
Sunday
addicted
it
to
was
it.
it was 1 a.m. Like my body just got. I was like, I was just calling people like, please, please, I want
We can go to that extent. It's
please,
serious.
like,
It's
damn.
serious.
Yeah, I was really engaged in a nice convo. So my airtime just got finished at that moment. I was like, eesh, I called this, please let me get me airtime. Oh no, I'm asleep, like that kind of thing.
We've been going on and on about social media, and it seems we are painting it bad. Like social media is we're addicted. What's it? Is it all bad? No, because honestly, we know it's not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. So how good is social media?
Social media provides a platform for people to advertise their businesses. Like people post a product
And then
on IG, Twitter, WhatsApp, and it will attract potential buyers. Honestly, I bought this veil on WhatsApp. A friend posted it on her status, so I contacted the person, said, and I bought it. It's fine.
Yeah. So I just get up and I post it. I'm selling this. Anyone that needs it, we have an online campaign.
Honestly, these days, like almost everyone is buying stuff online.
You sit at your doorstep and then they supply it to you.
online.
But now let's look at this. Let's say I have an online market,
Yeah.
okay, and I'm a student. I'm literally almost always online checking who has texted, and I think it comes is the demand of the nature of the business.
Yes.
It's like I have to always be online.
Yes, because a lot of people text you, they want to buy.
Yes. But is it bad? Because like it will make me have to be online because it's a business I'm running.
I think personally that doesn't count as part of the addiction we are talking about here.
Okay.
Because that serves as a source of revenue. It's kind of like an employment.
So
this is more of
running.
You gain a lot.
running a business.
Okay.
It's more or less like you are sitting in your store and then you are selling stuff. So I don't think that one it comprises more.
And the video also provides a platform for us to discuss about a lot of issues. Someone like a writer could write maybe something on obesity and post it on his or her Twitter handle. So you like, you comment, you ask questions, and you learn more from it. So assuming you don't know anything about obesity, if I'm a writer and I put something on my Twitter account, yeah, you get the chance to learn something about obesity.
Now for the ordinary user, for someone who just wakes up and then it's like, let me just go online for the fun of it. I mean, I have friends, I have people I have to chat with, I have to talk to. For such a person, and I want to use Instagram as an example, where you go online, you're seeing beautiful clothing, you're seeing people with a particular body shape, like, and those kind of things. Does it have an effect on you as an individual? Do you think it does?
Yes, personally, I think it does. You see, this modern life, most of our people live double lives.
Okay.
So they have the social media life and then the lives they normally live. So you see what they are flaunting on social media. What's in the
It's kind of different from
It's
their
different from how
reality.
they
It's different from
usually
their
do.
reality.
And it's like there's a particular body standard, like on social media. So if you are sitting at your home looking at yourself and looking at what you're looking on your phone and you're like, this is not what I look like. So it's really affecting people's, like it's causing depression. People have low
Self-esteem.
because of what you're looking at. What do you want to say?
As I said earlier on, you see, most of these things are fake. People go in for breast implants and all those things just for social media. So once you
Just to impress people.
just to impress people.
These days, people don't have like their own styling school. They'll rather go on IG, check how Edna, Enamsi, Yasmi, like how they dress. It's like, yeah, this time maybe my next Juma dress, I have to put on this sneakers, this dress, this bowler top, this
And
hijab.
that thing is actually bringing a lot of divorce now.
Really?
Yes.
Is it?
So I see this and then I go to tell my husband, I want this.
Okay.
My husband doesn't have enough money to
To
supply.
support them.
So she tried to go anyway to get that money to dress like Edna,
But
Yasmin.
then, do you think it's all bad? Because like, I mean,
They are all good, but
You
my
are
problem
good.
is like we should also have our own styling school. Maybe Fatih, this is what Fatih is dressing like. This is how she wants to dress like. This is what I'm dressing like.
If you see something you like and then you are copying it, you can copy it, but then don't go to
To
another
extreme.
extreme. Yes, to get that influence.
And with the body issues, like we are all seeing a particular kind of body online. It's like the flat.
And this day, like everybody is doing this like
Yes.
body shape, this
Yes.
surgery
It's a
stuff.
particular-
Because a lot of celebrities are doing it, so I also be.
So
let me also
it's really affecting the esteem. I don't know
Yes.
for guys, but for ladies, I know it's a big deal.
Yes, it's
Because people are doing anything they can to lose weight, good, bad, like anything. It's like
it's more or less like an indirect body shaming.
Yes.
So even though the person doesn't come to you directly to say you are fat, you have this, but then indirectly you get that kind of
Exactly.
low shape,
Exactly.
and then which brings out the low self-esteem in you. Yes.
And do you know, funny enough too, do you know, I think social media is a coping mechanism for most people. Like for people who are sad, lonely, depressed, it's like, let's say I'm lying in my room, I'm bored, I have nothing to do. I'd rather just pick my phone. I know I find comfort in looking at what people are doing, whiling away my time, doing self-pity. Like, do you agree with that?
Yes. Social media ideally is meant for fun. So if I get up and then I have nothing to do, there's nothing I'm supposed to do, and then I'm feeling bored, I can opt out to pick my phone and then
And
go.
you-
But then, honestly, people go there to poo. Like
yes.
it's like maybe in real life I don't like how my life is going, and I want to just like avoid, like just black out. I don't want to even deal with anything that's happening around.
You want to
So-
have a different life
Yes.
in general,
Yes. So,
a social
you
media
know,
life.
you can have you can be a different person on social
Yes.
media.
Yes,
You can
definitely.
be a very different person
Yes.
from who you really are. Maybe out there people are appreciating you more. People feel your vibe.
Because people
like-
use Snapchat filters
Exactly.
and post it on their IG,
So,
Snapchat,
IG.
WhatsApp. Meanwhile, like the filter will brighten their face and
Total
all that, but
cheat.
that's not how they look like.
I don't know if you remember this Amsterdam Gadam song. This total cheat.
Yes.
Exactly.
So nowadays, if you meet a lady, you take her to the pool and let her swim before you proceed with any other decision.
In how?
Oh, the makeup all go clear. So
Oh.
Not everybody puts
Nobody
pictures
really
on
do that.
social media and
Nobody
stuff.
really do that.
that would-
But it's like you're getting the reward, you're getting the love you want out there. So
Because people like it. Nice
Yeah.
comments,
Yeah,
you're looking
yeah,
so pretty.
So,
beautiful girl.
one thing about that is that ideally people will be liking your
Your
stuff.
pictures.
Yeah. But then when they meet you outside personally, they might not even know you.
Yeah, they might just recognize.
They will not
be
even
proud.
recognize you. So they like the picture, but they don't like you.
So I think it's a big deal that you should accept yourself for who you are
Accept yourself for who you are.
and like move forward from that point.
Yes. Another aspect is that it reduces the family intimacy. So ideally, I have a kid sister. Anytime we are sitting together, family discussions, watching television and stuff, she's glued on her phone. So
It's very
We don't
common.
have time for each
It's
other. Like
common.
we are all having a nice combo as a family. I'll pick up my phone, checking my
And
messages instead of us to talk about productive stuff as a family.
Like if it's not even necessarily big deal, like have a discussion or something. I remember recently I met with my friends. We're sitting in the hall, like then everybody was on their phone. Like this is people who don't meet every day.
Yes.
Like we just met once in a while, and everyone is on their phone. They will all get up, leave. We could have made a memory
and
there.
you go and see someone and say, "Oh, I miss you, I miss you." Meanwhile, you had.
Meanwhile, we had the opportunity
And
to
funny enough, too,
talk and
it doesn't only relate
share
to
some memories.
the youth. You see, the old people are not getting
Everyone.
addicted to.
So it's like social media is bringing us close, but it's keeping us apart from each other. Again.
Yes.
Yes.
It's bringing people afar close, but people close
Close
far apart.
away.
Yes.
We don't really have time for each other
And
these
it's
days.
so
We don't really
sad.
have time for
It's
each other.
sad.
Because these days, even the old age people also want to be on WhatsApp, post on their I remember my grandmom told my mom to get a phone so that she also be posting on his status. Can you imagine?
Grandmother.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Please, it's a new generation. But it really fascinates me how like, social media has really affected us so much.
Yes. And this social media too, it's always time consuming as well as money consuming. So for a student, let's talk in the aspect of a student. Time that you're supposed to use to study, you are busy on the phone, on social media. For a worker, time you are supposed to spend doing work, you are busy on social media, which can lead them to sacking you.
And sometimes you be studying like you make up your mind that hey, today dear, I'm going to study. You pick up your bag, you go to the library or any study room.
I can
You
relate to
start
that.
you start to study now.
We all can.
You receive a pop-up. You try to reply, you reply, put up your phone back, you try to study. You get
And now
Another notification.
like you kind of get distracted.
And even with the
And
money
it's,
aspect,
at the end of the day, to drive you away from studying, and you be replying messages and then checking stuff.
yes,
on your
looking at how expensive data is as of now, you see that I'll get up, then I register for a monthly bundle.
Yes.
Then at the end of the day, something that I was
You
supposed to
can
use for a
use
month, I use it within a day, and then
And
next
the
day I
students
have
are always broke. We use our money to
Honestly,
buy airtime all the
spend
time.
more
We are
time
always
on-
broke.
It's like at any cost.
I
you
must
get
have data.
At any cost.
Yes.
If you have to
Meanwhile, we
get-
can use that money to buy a purchase a book. But we won't. We use the money to rather buy data.
So aside that, I also think it changes lifestyles. So ideally, without social media, let's say I sleep at 10 o'clock.
Tell me.
You can relate to that, right? Ideally, without social media, I sleep at 10 o'clock. But then with social media, I extend to 2 o'clock.
You too.
Doing nothing
Sometimes
productive.
5. Sometimes 5 and then I'll sleep off forgetting to pray Fajr.
It's like the later the time goes, the more interesting. It's like they're just absorbed. You
Yes.
just keep
Like when it gets late, that's when like social
What
media
I
really
heard
becomes
about that,
interesting.
what I heard about that is most people use night bundles.
Thank you.
So,
Midnight band?
yes, they will sleep and wake up at 12 and then
And
that's when you see that. Yes.
It's another
People
life.
download a lot of stars at that time.
At that time, it's another life altogether.
Another life
Because
altogether.
I noticed this about myself. Maybe I'll go online, that's late, and I'll be like, oh no, I really shouldn't be here. I should sleep. But then it's like, oh no, let me continue. Something is nice, let me continue. And then I just
By the time you realize it's 2.
And then
By
you
the time you
sleep
realize it's
late,
5.
wake up late. When you wake up late too, it affects your day.
Yes.
If you've not had enough sleep, you are moody, your mood, your character, the way you are going about your things is, and it really affects productivity.
It affects us really. Because looking at, we have 24 hours in a day. And ideally, how many hours are you supposed to sleep? Let's say 7 hours. 7 to 8 hours. So 7 hours out of 24 hours. Then, if you're a student, you go for lectures, let's say from 8 to 5, which is ideally the same as the worker. That's about 9 hours.
Yeah.
Yes. So 7 plus 9 becomes 16 hours. 16 hours is gone already.
Gone.
Then you have to find time for your family members and stuff. But then you always push.
And this is the case, we don't even have time for the family members.
We don't have time for the family members. You only have time for family members that are not
That's
around.
all, yes.
Abroad.
For people who
This now a family member.
Yes.
Yeah. And even sometimes people are not even related to friends from far.
Some people you don't even know. People you've never met. That's the people you even taste mostly these days.
There was one time, it was on Mother's Day, then I saw a friend posting the mother on social media, Meanwhile, the mother was not on social media. And I said, who are you posting this thing?
To view.
To you. And ideally, the person doesn't even talk to the mother. So it's just trying to
Impress people.
impress
Yes,
people
more of
outside.
the-
Meanwhile,
People
you're-
are posting.
Yes, people are posting their mothers.
It's
They are
all
not supposed
about like flaunting. It's more of like showing off.
Yes.
I mean, it's everybody.
It's like an order of the day.
Yeah.
That's what people are doing. Let me also
Let me
do.
also do.
If you are not on social media these days, like you're
Hey,
kind of
like
who
you're
you're
not on
follow.
Snapchat. Like really, you're not on Snapchat.
Yes.
Like, you're not on TikTok.
And because of that class, our mothers and fathers are also
Now
going to-
everyone.
They also take their funny pictures,
Yes.
try to post on their status.
Yes.
So we admit that social media is really affecting our life, in as much as we don't like it. But we all admit that it is really affecting. How do we cope? How do we make it better? How do we just get the benefits without having negative impacts and effects on our lives?
You see, we need to plan our day even before we start the day. We need to allocate time for this. At this time, I have to do this. This time, I have to do this, so that we will not spend so much time on social media.
But even with the allocation of the timing for this, if you are not disciplined enough to, you will do the allocation of this, but it won't work.
Yes.
Yes. At the end of the day, class, you come and sit down and then you are looking at what you were supposed to do, and then all you did
You are going
within the day was social
contrary to
media.
it.
You are going contrary to that.
And
Yes.
I think with allocation to, like, it's best if you spread it throughout the day. So let's say maybe you want to allocate 2 hours to
For social media. So
Five-
maybe 10 minutes for morning, maybe 20 minutes.
I
or
don't know
30
how you.
minutes.
It depends on you, but,
But
like,
this allocation of the date class, it only works for people who go onto social media just for fun. Those who are into marketing,
Yes.
and then it's a source of revenue. There's one woman, her social media handle is just call me Chris. Yes, she was a teacher, and then she decided to stop the teaching to follow her dreams.
Wow.
That was to go into hairdressing and then all those stuff. But with the pandemic, business went down, and then she had to stop. She went into YouTube videos, and now she's making it big time. She's
Great,
yes,
great,
she's worth millions of dollars as of now. So for those who go into social media just for the fun, the planning of the day might actually help them a bit, and then as well as they taking social media as kind of a reward.
So how can you take social media as a reward?
Taking social media as a reward. So let's say you've planned your day already, as you said, you are disciplined, you followed everything to the letter. Then at the end of the day, I say, okay, so since I've been able to follow all this to the letter, let me reward myself with 2 hours worth of social media before I go to sleep. In that way, it doesn't feel like it's a must that you do it all the time.
and
But
it
then-
feels great.
Yes. And it
It creates a
yes,
balance.
yes, it creates a
You
balance.
now have a balance day. You didn't like waste so much time on
You
social
also,
media to do
like,
unnecessary
realize-
stuff.
Give you an extra step. Yes.
And sometimes too, I think it's very good to just step away. Like, switch off the phone, switch
Like,
off
go
the
away
laptop,
off social
go
media.
away.
But
Honestly,
that's
like,
That's
Me
It
personally,
clears your head.
like personally, I can go like 3 days of social media.
I can't
I'm
go
very
a
good
day
at
without social media.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Honestly, when you do those things, like it feels so good. Like it's like I'm
It
away
also
from the
depends on
noise.
the situation.
Like you
find
kind
yourself.
of like yeah, relieve. Like
It depends on the situation you find yourself.
Yes.
Some of us we don't have an option. We have to be on social
Okay,
media.
okay.
We don't have an option.
Alright.
Even though sometimes it's for fun, but we don't have an option. Even if I put the phone aside, press and say I'm not going to be on social media,
Someone
they will call me and tell me that I should come
Online.
online
to check up something.
to check
So
out.
I think it's basically about just being conscious
And self-discipline.
You know, yes.
Who you are.
It's,
And make sure you don't lose yourself as you're scrolling. What are your last words to everyone listening and watching and to yourself too? Because we all know, we all fall in this. We are all victims. Yes.
what I have to say is you set your priorities straight, you set standards for yourself, so that in as much as the addiction of social media affects you, it doesn't pull you down that much because you've been able to
Meet your goals.
meet your goals in that situation. Yes. So prioritize yourself. Yes.
Exactly. Very done.
Yeah, we shouldn't let social media enslave us. Enslave us. We should be conscious about what we want to do. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that you waste much time on social media. By the end of the day, you have fun on social media, you would gain whatever you want to gain on social
And
media.
you self-develop as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And lastly, what I want to add is I'm really emphasizing what you said. We shouldn't let social media enslave us. Have time, and if you think it's overwhelming or it's too much, step away. Like, take time for yourself and get
Like go a
better.
day off social media.
If you can.
If
Some
he
people
can.
can't. Some people
He
can't. But
He
if you
can.
can't, if you think it's overwhelming, it's affecting your mental health, it's really, really affecting your values and everything, step away and get better. It's been an amazing time with you guys. Thank you so much. for
You're
coming.
welcome.
Till next time, I come your way with another interesting episode. This has been The Golden Bits. Bye.